Because they told me we had to use them, so we're using them.
For the recordings.
For the recordings, yes. Because I'm not going to stand in one place, and I know myself already, so I'm going to go ahead and take it off and just hold it. First of all, if you're here, you love VBS. Woo! I'm so thankful. This was an added session, and Sister Jennifer texted me. She's like, "Would you be willing to do a vacation Bible school session?" I was like, "I love VBS, but are you sure? Like, are people gonna come?" And she's like, "Yes, please do it." And then of course, she said, "Please, please, please bring your right-hand lady, Sister Alex Reed." If it wasn't for Sister Alex, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. She literally is my right arm, and most of the time she's my brain. So, and she doesn't, honestly, the reality is she doesn't need me. I need her. That's the reality. That's how it is. So thank you all for coming. Thank you for loving Vacation Bible School. I love Vacation Bible School. I've been named the VBS queen at one point in my life, and it's kind of stuck with me a little bit. So it's just something.
A crown.
Oh, yeah, I do have a crown. I do have it. Man, I should have brought my crown.
Next year.
Anyways, I love Vacation Bible School, and I love doing what you guys do and what we do. I think they put a bio in there of me. I've done children's ministry for quite a few years before my husband started evangelizing, and then now we're pastoring. And I'm not so much doing children's ministry as much anymore, but I still do Vacation Bible School every year. Oh, yeah. And occasionally I get to go over and help in our children's ministry, but they really don't need me. So thank you all for coming. We're going to get right in. Let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to do today. So when she asked us to do this, I was like, whoa, because VBS is a really big subject to me. It covers I could talk for a long time probably. It covers so many areas. And so what our thought was is I said, Sister Alex, what if we just go through the orientation that we do about a week before our VBS every year with our whole team, and it's like 80 people. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually go through our orientation that's a week before our VBS, that all of our people hear. So it should help us be sure to hit most all the points of VBS just briefly. We're going to have a time of questions a little later toward the end. So if you have a question, write it down or remember it. But if you're me, you got to write it down or get Sister Alex to write it down for you. So we'll have a time of questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this orientation like it would be. Oh, you Sister Becca. Yes, absolutely. Yes. You stay still. Okay, y'all going to get to watch this. Okay, yeah, that's
a good idea. Yeah, just I would help, but I had a little injury this week, so that's why I'm sitting down.
Very helpful. Yeah, Sister Alex had an injury this week, a little fall, so
very graceful.
Yeah, she is. Hence the reason she is on a stool today. So, anyways, we're gonna go through this. I'm gonna kind of do it like I would do for our team, but at the same time, I'm gonna do my best to throw in director side of things along the way. So you're gonna get what we do for our orientation with a little bit of extra, okay, or a little bit of tips on some things, hopefully. That's the plan anyways. So if you have questions, we'll have some at the end. If it's a pressing question, you're welcome to ask it in the middle. I'm a very conversationalist type session speaker. I'm just going to talk to you, okay, just because I love VBS, so it's just going to be easy for me just to talk about VBS, because that's what we're going to do today. So we normally, it's usually about a week before. So I have done VBS from a very young lady. We did children's church. I brought him in. We were probably newlyweds, I think. I did children's church and then ended up directing Vacation Bible School there. So I've done there. Then basically every church that I've helped and been a part of, I've ended up directing the Vacation Bible School. And that being said, I've kind of done it different and tweaked it a little bit at every church because that's what you have to do. Everything I do here today will not fit your church, and that's okay. But you take what you need and use it, adjust it, twist it, and every church that I've been to, I've had to do that. So all that being said, this orientation the way we do it here at Eastview is we do it a week before VBS, which was an adjustment for me because I used to do the orientation like a couple of months before VBS. But what happens in some places is if you do that, you lose your people, or a lot of transitions will happen. Oh, I can't help anymore. And so it was just too much moving around. So when I do it a week before, I secure my people a little bit better. And so and then it also gives my leaders time to make sure they have everything solid before that week. And so that is what we do. And so this would be about a week before Vacation Bible School. We have this, we put it out, we promote it, we have a sign up. People have to sign up through our planning center registrations to be able to come, which we say it's mandatory. We really hope you're there. And everybody comes in. We have it, because it's a week before, we have it already semi-decorated because the decorating team is already working, because that same room will be used for our Vacation Bible School. So we have the setting already. That's why I brought a few of our last year decorations down. These are Sister Jennifer Jones, who is amazing, okay? All of the nice, pretty things are hers, and she does massive sets like that. You don't have to do that, okay? I think that's amazing. I'm so thankful for her, but I've been in a church where I did a lot of plastic backdrops or bulletin board sets, or use what you got, okay, and make it happen. And you can, okay? Lots of butcher paper. I've been through all of that myself. I've done all of that, and you can do it too. So if this is not your thing, that's okay. If it is, more power to you. You awesome. So where was I? Okay. So we come in. We have it semi-decorated already. We have food, refreshments. We have food out for all the people. This year we made it very themed. We had like the pineapple trees with the fruit spreads all around it, underneath it, because it went with the jungle theme. So you try to kind of just really, you want to build excitement, right? That's what you're doing. You're trying to get everybody in the spirit of Vacation Bible School and build excitement. So you're going to come in. Let's pause for 1 second. If you needed a handout, raise your hand.
There we go.
There we go. Just keep your hands up and she'll pass it out to you. So you come in, you have decorations, you have food, we have music playing, we have the whole 9 yards. It's happening, right? So everybody comes in, we have this exact PowerPoint presentation going on, got the setting, and then we begin our night, okay? And so what we usually do after, we have sign up for door prizes. Then I talk to everybody about the prayer. We have a prayer, time of prayer, and then the mission for Vacation Bible School, why we do what we do, okay? And that might be different for some of you, but the bottom line is the same for all of us, right? I believe in Vacation Bible School. I believe in the connecting the community to your church. So we have so many events like today, which are incredible, right? But this is not a community event, right? But community events are reaching for souls, right? This is our time to connect the community. I believe even if they don't show up on Sunday after that Vacation Bible School, and sometimes they do, a lot of times they do, but even if they don't, a seed has been planted in that child. Okay, we have a testimony. A seed has been planted in that child, and they might come back to your VBS year after year after year, not coming to a Sunday. But when they get older, they're going to remember that Vacation Bible School. They're going to remember what they felt in that Bible story session. They're going to remember how you cared for them and how you loved them. So I believe in planting those seeds. That is a strong reason why I believe in Vacation Bible School. That is a mission for me for Vacation Bible School, is to plant seeds in these children, seeds of truth and seeds of love. So we go through that with our team, with everybody, and we pray over the session. And then we play the video for the theme for the. You'll play a little bit, yeah. Let's see if we can hear it.
It's just about the theme and stuff like that.
Okay, yes. So it comes with a curriculum, and we play a little video about the theme just to kind of let everybody know what we're going to be learning and what the children are going to be learning, and kind of also just get you in the spirit of the theme. While we're there, I will talk about curriculum, right? This is my good time for that. Okay, so I brought a few over from our children's ministry closet that have been done in the past from different companies. If you're not familiar, I'll throw out a few companies just to kind of let you hear it. But you can go to Lifeway or, what's the other one? Mardell. But there's also some online that you can go and they'll see. Yes. So Answers is the one that we have done here at Eastview since I've been at Eastview. It's a very thorough curriculum. Like, you're not going to be able to use everything that it provides. It's got so much in it, and it's very good biblically. We do, because these are not apostolic Bible schools curriculum. We do have to adjust that, and honestly, we don't stick to the Bible story curriculum super great anyways. Our Bible story teacher is in the back of the room, Brother Bullard, my husband, and he's amazing, but he takes what the topic and the story sometimes, and he just runs with it. And so that's what we do. But you can do your thing, what works for you. But you do have to adjust it to make it biblically sound. But anyways, so Answers is a very good curriculum. They have like a starter set, a super starter set, or you can buy individual pieces. We normally buy the super starter set because we have grown to where we have so many different sessions and people, and it just gives us all of the things, because we're going to need probably almost all of the things. One thing that they have added in the last few years, and I love, is the Digital Pro Guide. And so basically this is a digital access to all of the stuff that comes in the kit. And so my promo team and anybody making signups, registrations, whatever, they're able to access all of the clip art, the graphics, and then you can actually even do registration through here. We don't do that, or we haven't. We could in the future, but you can do that as well. So that's really cool. That's all with Answers. This right here, I just have to talk about it because I loved it. This was the VBS curriculum that I used for years and years, and it was from Gospel Light. They no longer, I know, don't write it down. They no longer make Vacation Bible Schools. I have heard that someone else has taken over that and maybe trying to start it back up. But to me, it was one of the absolute best. Answers is probably the new one that would be my next top choice after that. And simply because of the same reason of Answers, they provide so many things and resources in this one box that you couldn't do them all. So you can add session after session and you still have lots of information and lots of resources to use. So that one's Gospel Light, just had to brag on it. Now, the reason I brought it up is I follow on like Facebook, whatever social media you use, several Vacation Bible School Facebook groups. People are always selling or giving away all the time, ladies and gentlemen, all the time, old Vacation Bible School curriculums. And we've even done that. And we do have a few that we probably need to let go of, okay? So you can get them. Most of the time, most of the stuff is going to be in there, like your core documents and curriculum, and you can make copies if you need to. So, I've done it before. I've reused old Vacation Bible School curriculum. So if you can get your hands on some previously used, you're going to save a lot of money, and you're going to find some really good curriculum too. So you can find a Gospel Light in lots of those Facebook groups, and I can share some of them with you later if we want to. These are just a few different ones. That was another Answers, and that's also Answers. There's Group. There's Lifeway. Who else puts out? Orange. Lots and lots of different Vacation Bible School curriculums. If you just Google search it, you're going to be loaded with it. So, but be wise and look for what you need for your church. Many of the curriculums will come out with like a weekend VBS, a 3-day VBS, a 5-day VBS, a night VBS. A lot of them will also, in that one curriculum, give you options for how to do that with that one curriculum, like the ones that we use, Answers. We can adjust that to 3-day, we can adjust it to 5-day, and it gives you the ideas for how to do that. So all about choosing curriculum. Got more questions later, ask me, but that's what we do, and that's how we do it. We've kind of just stuck with answers, I think, for the last 3 years, 4? 3. Yeah, well, we got 4 coming up.
4's coming up.
All right, and Sister Alex is going to take over now and go on to our session leaders and our jungle skippers.
And all the admin stuff. This slide, basically at this point in orientation, will introduce our session leaders. So that we'll go through the different sessions that we do and kind of go from there. We like to, make everything on theme. So we called our session leaders this year Jungle Skippers. And then their helpers were Jungle Crew. And then we have group guides for each age group, and we called them River Guides. So each term, everything that we used was on theme, like you're at a themed restaurant and they have to use all of the words, the language. We make everything VBS themed, Jungle Journey themed for last year. So our Jungle Skippers for Bible story was Pastor Bullard, and then we have crafts, music, games, and snack. Those are all of the main sessions. So those are the rotations that the kids go through. So in the packet that we handed out, y'all can see the kind of the layout of how we do the rotations. And so each age group had a fun little name: Funny Frogs, Goofy Gorillas. I don't remember the other ones, but Cool Chameleons. So you can see the rotation schedule of how we do that. Obviously, you'll have to customize that for what works for y'all if you're doing rotations like this. But these are the sessions that we do. All right.
I will say one thing on that. On those session leaders, your main leaders over each session, I usually choose those and ask those ladies and gentlemen way in advance because they need plenty of time. Some of them decorate their own rooms. Most of them don't, but they need plenty of time to start planning and preparing. The other team leaders ask a little bit later when we can explain how we do the volunteer form when we get to that. But those session leaders are asked way, way, way in advance.
Yes. And then, so schedules and paperwork. So crew assignments, I talked about that a little bit. So like Sister Bullard said, the Jungle Skippers are asked way in advance because those are going to be your main leaders over a session. So yes, it's volunteer, but we're telling them a little bit. We need, Brother Bullard, we need you to be doing the Bible story.
For 2025.
Yes. Yes.
You're just asked officially.
Yes, thank you so much. We'll put it down.
We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And then everything else from there is volunteer signups. So we have a form through Church Center where we ask very, very far in advance, probably what would you say, a couple months in advance?
About 2 months. It could be earlier, but that's usually when we end up doing it.
Yeah, our VBS is on a pretty large scale, so we need a lot of time to prepare. So about 2 months in advance, we create that volunteer sign-up sheet. We're already promoting it on social media, which I'll cover in a second. But when they sign up they put down what age groups or areas that they would like to volunteer in, and then we kind of go from there for making the crew assignments. So if they want to be a river guide, that's my favorite thing at VBS is being an age group guide, because you just get to stick with the same group of kids throughout the whole week, and you get to know them, you get to know their names, you get to really connect with them. And then we also, you can sign up for craft, you can sign up to work the staff nursery, snack, whatever, they sign up from there. And then we'll kind of use those to put together the teams. We try to give everyone, what they signed up for as much as possible. Sometimes, we have to do some moving around if, everyone wants to lead the 6 and 7s. No one wants to lead the 4 and 5s. No one wants
to work the nursery.
Or work the staff nursery. So we have to do a little moving around, a little adjusting, and just lots of communication with that. And then you'll see in the packet how we basically what you have in your hands is what we put in folders for all of our volunteers at the orientation. So with a few adjustments, but we have the agenda and then the schedule, and we have the grid of all of the volunteers and all of the helpers. So you can see everyone knows who is where, who's doing what. That way, if there's a question, they know who to talk to. Were you going to say something?
Oh, yes, I was, sorry, losing my voice. Yes, we do put that in there. What was I going to say, Sister Alex?
You were getting your folder.
Oh, yeah, I was looking for that. I was looking for that map. But yes, go ahead.
Okay. And then we have 2 different schedules in there. So one of those is a schedule for the jungle skippers. So that is for the session leaders and their helpers to know what age group is coming into them next. So they can look at it and say, okay, I'm in music, so we're teaching the action songs. So we have the 6 and 7s, and then we have the 8 and 9s, and then we have a break. And we build in a break for each one for them to eat.
Yes.
So we serve a meal to all of our volunteers and the kids at VBS. And so we build into the rotations a break for each of them. So for our jungle skippers or our session leaders, they had it built into their rotations. So, they'll have the 4 and 5s, and they'll have, it may not be in order of age because they're all over the place, all over the campus. But it's broken down into there. And then for the river guides, the way that we do that is that they go to eat when the kids are at craft. So we have a few extra hands helping at the craft session, so that
snack.
Oh yeah, just kidding. Snack.
Yes, it's snack.
So when the kids are eating, you're eating, but we don't eat with them usually. Sometimes we need a little space, a little break, because VBS can get a little chaotic, especially if you're with the younger kids. So we give them a little break. It's like 30 minutes, and we have the staff eating while the kids are eating.
I will pause for a second.
Yes.
I do remember what I was going to say. So jump back in your mind a little bit to the different roles and where we put out that volunteer form. The best thing, she said it's her favorite, and another reason why it's really good is if you have someone coming in, it's their first time helping at Vacation Bible School, putting them in as an age group guide will help them see every area, and they get to see all the different sessions. And so when they come back to sign up the next year, they're going to know what happens in each of those sessions and where they might want to work in the future if they have an interest in something. And also a good way to build some leaders.
Absolutely.
At the same time, that is where we use our young people mostly. Our youth group, we encourage them. We want them helping. Once they age out of VBS, they become a helper in VBS. But we do not put them, obviously, alone. We make sure that if they're an age group guide, which is honestly, for some of them, that's a really good place to put them because they're too old for VBS, but they're really still pretty young. And so when you put them as an age group guide, they're actually still getting to go through VBS, but they just don't feel like they are. They're a leader, but they're also still doing all the things. Some of them are ready to move on and go ahead and help, and that's fine. And you kind of have to know your people and know your student. And so just a couple of things on that I wanted to mention.
Yeah, absolutely. And also on the river guides thing, it's really helpful to have like a main point person for each age group. That way, if there's a problem or there's an issue or there's not a power struggle or just of a like, none of us are in charge, who's in charge, we don't really know, if something needs to be handled. So when you're making those groups, appointing a person and saying, okay, like this is kind of the main person and these are their helpers. So the youth would usually be the helpers, and then you have the main river guide. We also hand out a list of the locations of each session and a campus map. On this campus map, you'll see there's 2 different ones in your packet, or there should be. Yeah. So the first one is our traffic flow for the session rotations. So we have arrows on there to say, so in our sanctuary, when you came over here, you went through the back doors in that back hallway, and we have doors on each end. So we have people going out as another group is coming in, and so that there's not any, traffic flow issues, we have arrows on this map for them to follow. We also post this map by the doors and in key areas so that people can remember. That way we're not running over each other. You're not losing a kid to the other group, stuff like that. The next map is for our pickup and drop off. So with the exception of the final night of VBS, we And the first night and the last night, we don't have any parents come inside to VBS. The first
It's a closed campus,
Yes.
other than volunteers.
Yes. And so everyone that's on campus has volunteered, has signed up. We have their information. We know that it's a safe campus. So the first night they're coming in to register them, to drop them off. You know, we let them kind of see what's going on, but then they leave very quickly. After that, we have a drop off and pickup system like at school. So if your kids go to school, like public school, and you have drop off and pickup line, it's just like that. So we give you numbers to put in your dash, and you get those on the first night with your registration packet, which looks like that. So we give those to each family or group that's registered that would be being picked up in the same vehicle. So there's a number in there that the parents can put in their car. And then we have our security team with walkie-talkies, kind of relaying, number 3, Bullard, and those kids, he will hear their name and get lined up to go out the door. So we give that map to the parents so that they know where to drive in, how to go, and to help our security team keep the flow of traffic moving so there's not a large backup. And
just on that, so we do have a security team. It depends on your size and where you are, okay? Like she said, we're on a large-scale vacation Bible school, but it depends on where you are, but you do probably need at least 1 to 2 people, no matter what your size, to help your flow, to help your pickup flow, and also for protection for your students, for the children, and for your staff. And so it's very important what she was talking about it being a closed campus. When you start that, you could have a little bit of flack come back from people because they're not used to that, okay?
Yeah.
But have grace and have patience with them. Yes. I've been through this with public school when I was teaching, and they started requiring parents to bring their driver's license, and you had to check in with the office, and everybody was like, what in the world? Well, you have to understand where they're coming from. I'm a parent too. I've been there. But at the same time, it is very important that you know who is on that campus with those children, because we're reaching to the community. We want to win the community. Well, if a community child has been brought and anything happens or any accusation happens, if you have that list where you know who is in every room at every time, and you know who's on campus, and you know no one else is there, then you can say, this person were there. They should be my witness, and they're going to know what happened. And you're covering yourself in so many ways. And so it's for protection from incidents, but also for accusations as well. So it's very, very important that you start protecting your children and yourself. Yes. So just wanted to add that there.
Yeah, and on that too, unless you are a river guide, we ask that every team stays at their station the whole time. So even if at the end of the night when we do the general assembly to close it out, everyone comes into the sanctuary for the most part, but no one goes into the foyer or onto the porch during the checkout process, because we don't want it to get congested, crowded, and a kid get put in the wrong car or something crazy happens. So we ask that each team just stays at their session the whole time. Sometimes, the youth, if they're friends over in another session, they want to, oh, we have a break right now, we'll go over there. There's not a lot of kids. We do not allow that. You need to stay where you're assigned to be. Again, for that safety thing, and also just that's what you signed up to do. That's where you need to be.
You have to watch your youth with that usually, but if you tell them ahead of time, you're gonna.
They're usually okay with it.
Yeah, they're gonna handle it.
Yeah. And then after that, we go over who's who in the jungle. So that was what we called it last year. So that's just going over those team assignments again. So everyone knows, again, just another reminder, who's on your team, who your point people are.
I don't think we gave y'all that paper particular.
It doesn't have the names on it, but you do have the paper.
An example of it.
A sample, yes.
Let me see. Somebody hold one up. Let's see.
It should be like the first or second page.
That one right there, sister. Yeah. This right here. So this is filled in with a lot of little names. Like all the names are filled in there.
Mm-hmm. So those blank areas will have the names of each team member.
And one important thing there is at least 2 people per group of children.
Yes.
No questions asked. Mm-hmm. Just 2 people. Mm-hmm. 2 adults or 2 staff.
Yes. After that, we'll go over the parent letter, and we kind of do like Spirit Week mixed in with VBS. So So in the parent letter, we have some information about our VBS, and we also we hand that in the registration packets to each parent. And it has a breakdown of the verse that the kids are going to be learning each night of VBS. We have like a theme verse or a couple verses that are about the topic for that night. We have the topic. We have the offering. So we take an offering up each night. It just helps fund VBS, and it's fun. So we have parent letter.
It goes home in this packet to the parents. No,
We-
ma'am. We'll
no.
explain that
Yes.
in a little bit more. We'll get to that. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So in the letter that goes home with the parents, it'll say, so night 1, you bring nickels, and then the next night we do dimes, and the next night we do quarters, and the last night we do dollars. And it's fun. We do a competition between the boys and the girls. And then at the end, whoever wins, we've done it the last 2 years. We have gotten to let the winners silly string some special people. So it's been Brother Bullard and Brother Corey and Brother Spencer have been our sacrificial lambs for that.
They absolutely love that. The children love it very much.
Yes. So whoever wins the offering contest gets to silly string somebody. It's a little incentive to get them to bring it. It's fun anyways, but we just wanted to add the little incentive for it.
We have an older couple in our church. They're actually over our Joy group. They are amazing. Brother and Sister Jones are also over our Sunday school.
Yes.
And so
The Elder Joneses.
Elder Jones. Yes, the Elder Jones. And they are like he's our mascot for the
Yes.
week. And I don't think we have this anywhere, so I'll go ahead and
go ahead.
say it. I don't know if we do or not. But basically, when it's like 5 minutes till the end of each session, he goes around and goes like to the back of the room and gives a warning. It helps everybody know to keep the time going and to keep us moving. So he's kind of the mascot. Well, they do our offering as well. So basically, they're like our offering team. So when we're doing our opening assembly, we call them down, we cheer, we make a big deal. They bring the buckets up, take up the offering, play a fun song, build some excitement, and we yell, "Oh, look, the boys just put in a bunch of quarters," and go back and forth. And then they come back out at our closing assembly every night and say who won for the night. And so they keep that momentum going till we get to the last night.
Yes. And then do you want to talk a little bit about what we do in orientation? I mean, not orientation, opening and closing assembly.
Oh, yes, I can do that. So these kits are going to give you an opening and closing assembly, like word for word, like say this in bold letters. I can't do that. That's just not me. So I don't do that. I don't go by what they say. I look through me and, I like that. Okay, I'm going to do that. And that's how I do. And plus, the time starts going by so fast that you really don't have time to do all of that. So in our opening assembly, it's 20 minutes, right?
Yes.
Yes. The opening assembly, it's welcome. We do the theme. We say the theme for the day, the memory verse for the day, and we do the theme song for sure. Those three
Yes.
things we're going to do.
Yes.
And then sometimes I'll throw in another fun song depending on our time, and then I'll just get the kids prepped for the day. I usually will like to send them out like really ready, and I'll go around and I'll start talking like this, and I'll have them all look at me really close, and then I know I have their attention, and so then to dismiss them to sessions, we don't say, "Okay, everybody go to your first session." You know what that happens. Like, you're all children's ministers. No way do you do that. No way. So we play a fun song, and I'll run around with, I didn't bring anything like that, but I'll be wearing something like this. I wore my hair wrong today for any of these hats, but I will be wearing something crazy, usually dressed in whatever theme it is for the night, and I'll have them all like, just get really quiet. Okay, show me you're ready. And then I'll run around while the song's playing and like, wand this group. Okay, now you can go. Well, their leaders already know where they're going, and so they'll stand up. Many of our leaders, they know ahead of time, so they'll prep, and they'll have some flag or a sign, and they're carrying that, and all these littles are following them, and they're marching out. And then I'll wait till they're like almost out of the room, and then I'll let the other group. And so we transition them out like that. That's opening pretty much for us. It's pretty simple. We'll go over, like, if the day before there was a challenge or something, I might remind everybody of the manners or the rules or whatever, in the best fun way that I can. And then when we come back in for closing assembly, that's our cool time, because they come in on a fun song usually, And then we'll do like one really fun song together where we bring some of our session leaders up there, get some adults up there doing a silly action song, wearing hats, whatever it might be. Think of a song. They love the Armor of God.
The Yes to VBS song.
Yes to VBS.
We do that one a lot.
A lot of those kind of things.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of y'all know the action songs. So we'll do something like that, and then it's time for the best part. It's time for our skit. It is the best part. So we have an incredible team. Last year, Sister Chelsea Moorhead headed that up, and they actually put on a skit every night. It comes in the curriculum. They adjust it as they want to, sometimes a lot.
We like to customize.
Yes, and when you customize it, they put in like inside jokes that are only
Yes.
for our church and things like that. So it makes it really fun. So they come out and they do this skit, and the skit is building every night. So it's like a story that's happening. And then the end, at the closing, there's double skits, and we finish it up and we see what happens. And every night I'm like, oh my. What do you think? And we just go through all of that. So the closing is a skit. That's the main part of our closing assembly is that skit. We'll say this real quick. Are we running out of time?
We have like 10 minutes.
Okay, we better hurry. The skit, our skit team chooses to practice during the sessions that night. Like we have a room designated for them, and they practice during those sessions. I have not always done it that way. In some other churches, those skit people have worked roles and then also did the skit, and that's okay too. What works for you is what you need to do. But I'm just giving that as an option because we did set up a skit room, and so they come in there and they work in that skit room and they practice up until the last session before closing, and then they come out and they practice in the sanctuary on the stage where they will be. That is why our rotation doesn't go up from age group, because we have to adjust it to make that work. There's a lot there I don't have time to go into. But it is nice for Bible story if the age groups do go from like 4 to 5 up like that. But it doesn't always work out. So I need to stop talking so we can move on.
And then, okay, really quickly on the spirit thing, we have like a dress up theme for every night. So the last night is like wear your VBS shirt. We do T-shirts for the kids and the adults that they can buy with their registration. And the last night's VBS, but we do something on theme. So dress up like someone you'd see in the jungle, or the year we did the royal, the Keepers of the Kingdom.
Yes, right
we
here.
had like dress up like a princess or a prince or a knight, something like that. And then sometimes it's like crazy hair day, the fun kind of normal Spirit Week stuff.
How many of you are getting tired right now? Tired of sitting? Okay. Well, right here is when in this meeting, which we really don't have time for it right now, but in this meeting, we would stop and do some kind of game with our staff. Remember, this is not kids. This is our orientation. So this past year, we had...
It was each table.
Each table had a different animal.
They had to draw a piece of paper and act out an animal on the stage for everyone, and we had to
like with some fun music playing.
Yeah,
and
it was super fun.
The year before with Keepers of the Kingdom, we had stick horse races with the adults. But anyways, this is a time in this meeting where you would stop and get your team up and let them move around, take a break.
Adults need that too.
Yes, they do. I do. And you get tired of hearing us talk, so you need something else to do. All right.
And then we talk about the closing program. So this is a huge, huge thing. So first, I'm going to talk a little bit about promoting VBS. So I am the promotions person here for Eastview. So I do all of our social media, photography, that kind of stuff. So VBS is a huge event. So we have a separate social media page for our children's ministry. You got to figure out what works for you. Eastview is a very busy church. We have a lot going on. So if I was posting all of Sprouts, all of Girls of Grace, all of Vanguard, all of VBS, all on the Eastview page, it would get very congested. Things would get lost very, very quickly in mix of like our weekly events, our weekly posts that we do. So some VBS posts go just on the children's page. Some go just on the church page. I try to do a good mix of graphics, pictures from last year, reels, just like slideshows of last year, stuff like that to kind of mix up the media. Different things will catch the attention of different people. Also on that, for Facebook especially, every community pretty much has one of those, like, what's happening in Angelina County or homeschool moms of Lufkin or something like that, posting events like this in those groups is huge. A lot of people will come and they would never have known about it because they don't follow us on Facebook. They don't know anybody from our church that would be sharing it. So if we post it in groups like that, you can have like a designated person on your team that is a part of those groups, because I'm not a mom, or I'm not a homeschool mom, I'm not a mom, and I only have lived in Angelina County for a couple of years. So it wouldn't really make sense for me to be posting in those groups. However, if there's someone on your team that is a part of those, then say, hey, can you share the VBS registration link to, this group? Or if any of you are part of a group, something like that. Also, we've done like radio ads. Those are hit or miss for larger events like the Light of Lufkin, our big Christmas thing. We do that, but that's an option as well. And then, we had someone who worked at a public school that their school collected summer events to promote within the school. So if you have like teachers at your church that if their school does something like that, sometimes they send out like summer programs. We sent our VBS in to their summer programs list to share with their students. So the big thing that we're promoting, obviously, is VBS. We want kids to come, but our closing program, the final night of VBS, we do 4 nights. So Friday night of VBS is, we called it this year the Jungle Jam, or Jungle Jamboree. The graphic for it is the last page in the packet. And so we had a slightly different altered graphic for this event because this is family night. So we want the entire church family to come. We want the VBS kids and their families to come. And everyone comes, and we have a big closing program. So we start in the sanctuary. So they come in just like they did. We have the kids still sit with their age group guides. So we have designated pews for each age group. So the 6 and 7s go to their spot. Even though their parents are there, their grandparents are there, their friends are there, whoever brought them, we still want them to go down with their age group guide. And all of the kids stay there. And then the parents fill in the rest of the sanctuary, along with all of our session leaders that have not been able to be in the sanctuary because they were over setting up craft or making snack. They're all in the sanctuary. And so we do the opening assembly. So basically, it's a little miniature peek into what we do for VBS for the parents, so they can see what their kids have been doing all week. So we'll do our opening assembly. We'll play the song. We'll introduce ourselves. We'll do the offering. And then in the music session all week, the kids are learning a couple of action songs that are on the theme. And so all week they've been learning these songs, and now we have the kids do the songs for the parents. So on the night before that, we have them get in a spot. So we have like on our platform, we have like the big kids in the back, in the middle, and then the kid, the 8 and 9s on this side, 6 and 7s on this side, and 4 and 5s in front because they're little, and we want to be able to see them because they're super cute. So we arrange them like that. You got to figure out what works for you. But we have all of the kids get up there, do the action songs. We do 1 action song with the 4 and 5s, and then we let them go back to their parents. Otherwise, they'll be like ants running everywhere. So we do 1 action song, they go back to their parents, and then we do another, usually one of the a little more complicated action songs, because some of these are super easy. Some of the action songs are like very intricate.
Mine are the super easy ones. Brother Corey's are the super intricate ones.
If you've ever gone to, yes.
So, yes, I can send some out in an email or text of my songs. My songs are probably more like the kiddie, old, fun, very actiony songs. Our Kids View team, and they come out and do a song in this program.
Yes, yeah, we do a mixture. Yes. So like our Kids View team, if you've ever gone to the Kids View live session here at Sprouts, you've seen kind of what they do. They do like popular songs right now. Like when Praise first came out, they had the kids actually make up actions for the song Praise. We do songs like that, but for VBS, for this specifically, we do the songs that come with the kit. So they're like the Jungle Jam was a song, and so the kids are learning the actions to the Jungle Jam. and they get up there and do the jungle jam for everybody. And
We'll do songs like I'm a Christian
Yeah.
or Yes to VBS or
Yes.
just a lot of those fun na-na songs and just anything that, it's going to get it. Making Melodies, I mean, it is so
Yes.
old, but they love that song. Everybody loves to stick their tongue out and throw their head back. I mean, that's just fun.
Yes.
So we do that too. I do think that for a time, I'm sure they're still there, and I can double check, but I think our Kids View team did have some of their songs.
on a Spotify, I
Yes,
believe.
yes, I believe so.
We'll figure that out.
Or
Yes.
YouTube, so we can work with you on helping you to get
Yes.
access to some of those.
Definitely. And then after this, so then we do the big finale of the skit. So all week, it's usually some sort of, there's a mystery element to it usually. So that's the big finale. They'll do like a double skit. So it's like twice as long as it's been all week. They do the skit, and then we do a couple little things. Like Pastor Bullard will address them, say thank you for coming. We're so glad y'all let your kids come, that kind of stuff. And then we dismiss to outside, and outside we have games, food. We add like a petting zoo one year, rock climbing wall, dunking
Horse
booth,
rides,
horse
the year of the Keepers of the Kingdom.
Yes. We do lots of different stuff. We had snow cones, popcorn, and they all go outside. And then at that point, your staff is either working a station or they're just mingling with the kids. So they're not, the kids go back
And
to
the parents, the families.
Yes.
This is key for families.
So this is our time to connect with the parents. So we've been connecting with the kids all week. Now we need to connect with the parents. So all of our group guides are released from their groups, and now they are there to connect and reach out to visitors, have fun, and get to know the people that are there. Anything else?
I think we got it. One thing, some years, depending on how long the skit or what we have, some years we will let there be a Bible story recap on this night as well. And that's a really good thing. We like to do that. It just doesn't always work out. I think this past year we had too much skit left to get through, and so we were not able to do that. But it's a wonderful thing, because then the families are also hearing the word, and they hear a little bit of what their children were taught during the week. I will say, in our Bible story session, we do give them a chance to pray. Thank you, Sister Vicky. At the end of they're 20-minute rotations, but at the end of every rotation, there's an altar call. Even with the 4 and 5-year-olds, they may not pray for 5 seconds. Sometimes they don't. But our older ones do many times. They're in there and they're receiving great blessings from the Lord. In our rotation,
in the
Bible story room.
So we do the Bible story, and then, whoever's doing the Bible story will kind of give an altar call for the Bible story. And obviously, sometimes we hope that will go long, that the kids are really praying. And so all of our group leaders and session leaders are going to try their best to be as flexible as possible, because that's what it's all about. So we want to keep that be the focus.
So we try to end that with one of our older groups being the last ones that are in Bible story, because they are typically potentially going to be the ones that would pray them the longest. And so that way, if it did flow over, it would just flow over into our closing assembly, and it wouldn't be as disruptive to the schedule. If it is, praise the Lord.
Yes.
We want that kind of disruption. I wanted to mention real quick, I don't know what slides we have left, but I don't think so I think this was our first year. We've always done lanyards with like the child's name, but this year we had specific lanyards made with the theme, and on the back, and this was a staff lanyard, but on the back is the schedule. So our staff are able to like quickly look and see, okay, I've got to move in 5 minutes, and they're able to see that. So Zoo, I think it's a company we order from.
We had them printed online. There's a few different companies you can use: Vistaprint, Zoo, 4imprint. Those are some. And then we also do certificates for the kids of completion of VBS. So all the kids that came get a certificate. We send those home with the group leaders to write all the names, because they're going to know the kids usually. So we'll send that home with like that main age group guide person to write their names.
Or they'll do it during the night.
Or they'll like
before.
do it throughout the night, something like that. And we hand them out at the end of VBS to the kids as we release them to their parents. Very quickly, we only have we're out of time. We do have a process for first aid. We have little bags that each group guide has with Band-Aids, hand sanitizer, tissues, that kind of stuff. And then we also have a kit. Everyone knows where that's at. 2 adult rule, count your kids, don't lose anybody. We already talked about pickup. We also hand out guidelines for serving. So obviously this is going to be different for every church, but the guidelines that your pastor asks that you meet to serve at VBS. Then we do the action song. We teach everyone the main.
Yeah, we have a couple of young people come up and we teach all of our staff the theme song in this orientation.
Yes.
And then we have a time, do you have lunch next? Is it lunch?
No, there's another session.
There's another session.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to talk really quickly because I do want to tell you this. Then we have a time where in this same meeting we break up into groups and everybody goes and meets with the team that they will be working with. And so whoever's the leader for that group will sit there and have 10 minutes of, okay, this is what we're doing. This is, and kind of gives everybody, even all your help, an idea of what's the plan for the week.
Yes.
We're at questions, and also really quickly, I wanted to talk about something. I don't think we put it, it's in here, hospitality.
Oh, yeah.
This is huge, okay?
We
I will
love
say this,
hospitality.
we love hospitality. It is a big undertaking, but it is a blessing if you have someone that will help you make it happen. The reason I thought of it is because I saw these, but we have a hospitality room for all of our staff. So like she said, they have a chance to go eat during the night. We have to get here at some people we're getting here really early, but we ask our staff, it starts at 6, we ask them to be here at 5:30, no later. And so that's really hard to go eat dinner. And many of them are working, and we understand that, and we appreciate that. So we provide a hospitality room. We have a lady in our church that has taken that on, and she will organize meals every night for our staff to come.
Amazing.
And they're amazing meals. You can get donations in your community oftentimes, some years better than others. But you can have, so what we ask her to be headed up, and then as part of our volunteer service form that we send out and they sign up for online, hospitality is a choice that they can choose if they would like to help in there. So here's where you can bring in people that say, I'm not good with kids, or I can't move around the room the whole night. So they're able to come in there. Plus, I don't buy that. So I don't ever buy that. I'm not good with kids. I'm like, yeah, you are. So, or I'm going to make you anyways. You're going to figure it out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not. Anyways, this is an opportunity for those ladies to come help that sometimes maybe can't get around and go to all the sessions and do all the moving or get up and down with the kids or whatever that is. And then it may be other ladies that are just like that. I'd rather not work with the kids, but I would love to serve the staff. And so we have this opportunity for them to come on their break, and they're able to eat, and they don't have to think about dinner the whole week of Vacation Bible School. So it's very, very good. We feed them on their break. So we do this rotation that's in your packet, and there'll be a break. So our session leaders eat on their specific scheduled break. Our group guides eat when their children go to snack, because in snack, the kids are mostly sitting, eating. We try to provide a few extra helpers in there, and so it's not any teaching going forth. Sometimes there's a little bit, but maybe usually they work on the memory verse or something. They throw in some extra in there. But this is a time, so when their children go to snack, that's when they go to the hospitality room to eat. In the hospitality room, we have a wall posted with schedules and reminders and things, so it's also a place that they can catch up on anything that they need, any information. I know we're out of time. Are there any quick questions? Yes, sir.
All your kids aren't going to get dropped off at the same time. They're not going to be picked up at the same time. We're doing action songs at games right now. Is that what y'all do?
That's exactly what we do.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I do use some from Worship House Media Kids. They have some countdowns and little interactive guess that sound and stuff like that. So I'll do a game and then I'll stop and do one of those so I can catch my breath, or I'll do an action song and I'll stop and do one of those, and we just kind of go back and forth. It moves pretty quickly. One more thing we do, oh my word, this is a huge subject.
We do a lot.
What we do that really helps us is when we're at the end and it's time for dismissal, before any name can be called from the parking lot where they're lining up out there, because we have microphones, walkie-talkies, moving the whole thing like that. Before any name can be called, we dismiss our staff children, and they come back over here for a snack or a mini meal. This year we did a snack. We kind of flip-flopped it. But they come back over here for a snack. So that's like 40 children.
Yeah, it's like
at least or more.
half the kids.
Yeah. So they are all dismissed. We have a couple of guides from each group go with them, take them over there. We learned that lesson a little bit this year. It took more than 2 people. So we dismiss our staff children over there, so it brings that group of kids way down. It shrinks it a lot. So they're over there having their bedtime snack before they go home.
Yes.
So that's kind of how that works for us.
That helps a lot.
Any other quick questions? I know y'all need to go.
For the river guide, so they stay with the kids basically from assembly and they stay in the classrooms with the kids?
All the way through, yes. And we really ask them to be involved, to, like, if they're doing fun songs, to do it, sit with them doing the crafts. We really don't, my preference is that they're right there. Like, if the kids are on the floor, they're on the floor if they can. You know, if the kids are doing a craft, if the kids are singing, they're singing. I don't recommend that your guides are the ones that are sitting back watching what happens. They need to be involved. But yes.
Yes.
Anything else really quickly? All right. Thank you so very much. I'm sorry we rushed through. This table is up here if you want to look or come back later and look. Have a good day. You're welcome.